second installment of my winter soup series called Soups On. It is January now, and we are going to make a quick weeknight wonton soup. This comes together fast, you guys, and it is so good. And one of the reasons it comes together fast is a cheat: frozen dumplings. You can use any size. I got minis because I think that's nice for a soup. Get them on a spoon. But use any size, any flavors you want. It doesn't matter. Vegetarian, chicken, pork, shrimp, whatever you like. It doesn't matter. The broth is really delicious. There's a lot of aromatics in this broth. It's very mushroomy, and we've got ginger and scallion and garlic and a lot of things. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we wanna get some of these veggies and aromatics in a pan and saute them until they're all kind of soft and cooked down. I'm gonna show you now. So we do need 1 large shallot, thinly sliced. I've done that already. I'm gonna tell you the actual recipe, but I am making a double of this because I've got the ingredients and I've got some hungry folks that I'm feeding. So one thinly sliced shallot. We've got that right here, okay? 2 cloves of thinly sliced garlic. So let's get this guy open here. You know that oftentimes I do like to use my jarlic. I bought real bulbs today because, you know, I feel like I'm getting classier in my old age, so I'm gonna really take it up a notch and use actual bulbs for you guys. What I've done for that, just kind of pushed apart this garlic. Here's the cloves, 1 by 1. They've got a little paper skin on them, so what I like to do is kind of just give them a little lop on the top and then press the garlic down with my knife. You see that paper peels right off, super easy. So then you just take your knife, and you want these real thin. I mean, like, kind of like Goodfellas prison spaghetti dinner thin. I don't have a razor blade to do it, but you get the picture. As thin as you can, because we want this garlic to kind of melt away into the dish and not be kind of in hunks. So you just do little skinny pieces, right? Brush another one. I like this type of soup because it really does eat like a meal, because you have, you know, the kind of those meaty mushrooms in the dish, full on pork and vegetable wontons. So, you know, you could just pair this with a nice side salad and you'd be good to go for dinner for sure. One thing I would say, if you're not going to eat all of this in one go, I would make up your broth, and then I would add I'd like make your broth hot when you want it, add some dumplings then, and make sure they, you know, thaw into the sauce or into your broth. If you keep the dumplings in and then try to like refrigerate or freeze this, they're gonna get really, really mushy and just fall apart. So keep that in mind when you're kind of deciding how and when you're going to eat this. If you're gonna like pack this for lunch, you could pack like a cup of the broth, put some of the frozen dumplings in another container, they'll thaw out by your lunchtime, and then heat up your broth, dump them in, they'll heat up. Okay, this looks like something from an aquarium. Like, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? This knob of ginger. But this is fresh ginger, and oh, it's so nice. It's so fragrant, good spice to it, good heat. The best way to peel ginger, honestly, is with believe it or not, a spoon. You just take the spoon down the sides, the ginger skin comes off really, really easily. And because it's knobby, it's like safer too, because you're not using a knife, which could, something knobby like this, you might have an accident, an unfortunate accident. And we don't want that. So we need 1.5 tablespoons of ginger. Did you guys see that? I'm gonna start over. Here's some ginger. I'll be back in a second. Let me get myself together. Okay guys, I am back. As you saw, I was peeling my ginger with my spoon and it, boop, hit the ceiling and fell to the floor. So I had to start over with some other ginger. Didn't want you to have to watch the whole process twice, but I did peel more ginger, mince it down. This is about 2 tablespoons here. So what I've got here is garlic, shallot, ginger, big lump of brown sugar that equates to about 2 tablespoons. And I've got 2 containers of mushrooms here, some white, some baby bellas, and we're gonna get this kind of cranking here. This is a recipe that goes pretty fast, so it's a good weeknight one. I'm gonna do, why don't we say about 4 tablespoons of sesame oil on the bottom of a pot. We're gonna get that up kind of shimmering. And when it's shimmering, that's when you know it is hot enough to start adding things, right? So this induction cooker, it goes pretty quickly, so I'm already seeing some smoke come off of that, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw in, yeah, you can hear the sizzle. It was ready. Throw in these onions here. And throw in this ginger. This lump that I'm gonna smash down. That lump was not ideal, but my brown sugar was really hard. Your garlic. So I'm gonna give this a little stir. You don't want anything to burn, but you do want it to start cooking down. So, you know, keep moving it and make sure it's on like a medium temp. You know, you want bubbles, you want that noise. Okay, so like I was saying, you want your heat to be high enough that your vegetables are sweating down and cooking. And that, you know, kind of like that garlic is sort of melting into the pot. I want my big sugar lump to melt away, but you don't want things to burn. So keep this on kind of like a medium-ish heat. You know, you don't need to blast this with this, like the surface of the sun on a big high heat. Your food's not going to taste great that way. So I've got the mushrooms, shallot. Well, we started with sesame oil. Mushrooms, shallots, ginger, garlic. That is what is in here now. I am going to let all of this cook down. I want these mushrooms to cook down and be soft. 5-6 minutes I might give this. And then come back with me. We're going to deglaze this pan with some soy sauce. Then we're going to add some broth and our wontons, and essentially that's it. It goes real fast, like I said. So I'll come back in a few minutes. Okay guys, so we're back. We have been sauteing down our mixture here of mushroom, garlic, ginger, scallion in some sesame oil. All of my veggies are soft. So I'm going to deglaze the pan with some soy sauce. You can choose to use low sodium if you like. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm gonna go in with about 3 tablespoons. It is quite salty, this stuff, so, you know, we don't want to get too nuts with it, but we can adjust the you know, if we find we want more at the end, we'll put more in, no big deal. And then we also are going to go in with 2 cups of water. That calmed things down, didn't it? And 4 cups of chicken stock. We're going to bring this up to a boil. I will be back in a second when this is up to a boil. We will add our wontons, which take like no time to cook through. We'll do that together, and then we'll bowl up. This goes really quick. See you soon. Okay, guys. So I am back. I've got my my broth at a kind of a rolling boil right now with the mushrooms, the garlic, the ginger, the scallion. Chopped some green onion and added that in there. Added a few more dashes of sesame oil and soy sauce and a good heaping teaspoon of chili crisp because I thought the broth needed a little something more. It seemed a little flat to me. So now that I've added, you know, a couple extra dashes of some things, the broth is where I want it to be. It's flavorful, and honestly, it'd be a good sipping broth on its own with the mushrooms and everything. But here's the good cheater that we're gonna do. That is, look at these baby dumplings. So we are going to put in a good number of these. Just drop them in our broth. These come frozen from the grocery. Of course, if you're ambitious, make your own. I was not ambitious, so I did not make my own. And like I said, we're going for like a weeknight kind of thing, you know, so we don't want to be in the kitchen too long. During the week sometimes you want to just get in, get out, especially when it's cold. You want to, you know, maybe curl up on the couch when you get home, put on your pajamas and get a bowl of something nice and just sit on the sofa, watch some TV, read a book. Essentially, the soup is done at this point. What we do is wait for the wontons to thaw, which will take 2-3 minutes. I mean, these are cooked. These are not raw, so it doesn't take long. See if I can kind of show you. I mean, we've got all these like beautiful mushrooms in here, this broth. There's nice, and they're already soft, so they're done. All you do with this, bowl it up like I do. Look, we could do it even like takeout. I've got a takeout container. Why go get Chinese takeout? You can make this stuff at home. I love hot and sour soup, and I make that at home all the time. So why shouldn't you make any of the takeout you love at home? Here we go. Oh, Amy, did you go to your favorite restaurant and pick up takeout? No, I made this myself in 20 minutes, and I've got an entire pot of it for the price of probably what you would pay for 1 cup of soup at a restaurant. It's fragrant, it's delicious, it will satisfy you in cold weather, fill your belly, and fill your heart. And I don't know why I said that, guys. You know me with soup, I get excited. Anywho, some good toppings for this would be more scallions, another big teaspoon of chili crisp. This, like I said before, the broth and mushrooms in this, that combination would freeze really well. If I was going to just eat a little bit of this and freeze the rest. I would keep the broth and the dumplings separate, and then I would maybe say you're gonna bring them to work, like I said earlier, bring a container of your broth, bring a container with some of these frozen dumplings, heat your broth, plop some dumplings in, let them thaw out, and then you've got a wonderful lunch for yourself. So I'm gonna have some takeout soup now, and I will see you guys next month in February for my last installment of Soups On. Thanks.